This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest, center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, August 25th. And I'm your host, been the host for about 3.5 years on the show, and hopefully we'll continue doing it as long as the markets are active and as long as I'm having fun doing it. And frankly, I am having a lot of fun. You may recognize me from the old Wall Street Week from Louis Rukeyser days, or perhaps from the Nightly Business Report, as also the publisher of VRTrader.com. And we've been doing a lot of media over the years, but pretty much focusing on our VRTrader.com newsletter, which incorporates a bunch of newsletters. Our most exciting recent letter has been the Cannabis Vice letter in the last couple of years with what's going on in the cannabis stocks. And just jumping into that really quickly, there's some big news today that we found out another liquor company, Diageo, that's ticker symbol DEO, is shopping around Canada to cut a deal. As we know, prior to this point, Molson Coors and Constellation Brands were heavily involved in this sector. And what's the old expression? You know, we find the bull market somewhere. The bull market is in the Canadian marijuana stocks. We have Canopy Growth, ticker symbol CGC, which we've been trading and investing and playing with since $2 a share when it went public 4 years ago. Up about 4.5 points today, $45 a share into new record high ground, 15 million shares. Telray, TLRY, which is a new issue, relatively a new issue in the Canadian space. Went public in the teens, it ran all the way up into the 30s, and now it's trading around 43.74. And that's up about 5 points. So wild action, a lot of opportunity there. Check it out. Go to our VRTrader.com newsletter. Check out the Cannabis Vice letter. We also have the crypto letter. We follow the crypto market now in the last few months. A new letter for us for those who are interested in the ICOs, cryptocurrencies, which are not dead. There's still action there. And we also have our very popular Trading Addict service. We created this a few months ago for those who are looking for some ideas each day. Our other services have ideas as well, but we're not as active as we are in the Trading Addict. So all these products are at our website. I want to disclose that we do have a lot of guests on our show, and some are sponsored interviews, so just keep that in mind when we're listening to all the great guests that we have. Some are, some aren't, but we do have some that are sponsored interviews on the show. Meanwhile, we have a lineup today. We don't know whether we're going to reach everybody or not. We're hoping to get Don Violo on the show, Henry Weingarten, our good friend Sinclair No, perhaps Jim Rohrbach and Ray Merriman, all have indicated they might be available for the show this morning. So if we get them on the line, we will move ahead with that. Meanwhile, let's talk about what's going on in the markets here. We have a lot of so-called bad news, concern about whether there's going to be a Trump impeachment or not. We're going to talk about that more on segment 3 and whether that will affect the stock market or not. And despite all that, we have the Dow Industrials up again into new little recovery highs, not new bull market highs, but it's getting there slowly. And what's that old expression Joe Granville taught us way back in the 1980s, climbing the proverbial wall of worry. So markets are telling you everything is still okay. A lot of noise from the seditionists, and that's a strong term, but that's how I feel. The seditionist press, which is out there for months and months and months, a concerted effort on their part, and the Democrats to dethrone Donald Trump, who's been a miracle worker. I can't even list the positive things that this man has done for the economy. In fact, I do have a report, and we're going to put it in our newsletter over the weekend. Maybe we could read it on the show next week. It would take an hour to go through the list of all the positive things that have happened. There's concern about women and donations and sexual exploits. I could give a damn about those, and I'm sure many of you out there as well. I care about our country. I care about immigration. I care about the stock market, how well that does. I care about business regulations being overly severe over the years, and these things are important. And I could care less who a man sleeps with. I mean, look at what John Kennedy did back in the 1960s. I mean, he was a rabble rouser in that sense. So, this is irrelevant to running a country. Great leaders throughout the centuries, great emperors had a different woman every night. So again, I could give a damn about who they sleep with or who they pay off. I care about the results. And I think bottom line is we have a group of people out there, the Democrats in particular, who really are, fascists. And if you've watched the Dinesh D'Souza movie, which I have, you've got to go see that. And I highlight a little clip from it in my newsletter. And basically the theme of that film is that the real fascists out there are the Democrats. And, I never thought I would say that. In fact, I have some in my own family, unfortunately. So this is the problem out there right now. And hopefully America will stand up to its highest levels, vote positively for the conservative movement, which has taken over this country in the last couple of years, replacing a movement which was not conservative by any stretch, which was leading toward and moving toward socialism and a lot of bad things which would bring down this country. So hopefully we can stand up and fight the nonsense that we hear in the media and some of these stories, including the so-called Russian conspiracy, which never really existed, though the Russians are involved. But let's talk a second about what Obama did. Obama was over at Israel trying to influence an election over there because he didn't like Netanyahu. I mean, on and on and on. You talk about governments trying to influence other people's elections over the decades, over the centuries. That's always been the case. This is the way governments work. This is the way the Secret Service or the secret arms of the government work for years. And I've been writing in my newsletter for decades about the secret government that's been going on. They call it the deep state now. I've been writing about these for decades, about what's been going on. This is nothing new at all. So the deep state, the secret government, doesn't like to be overthrown, doesn't like the fact that they're not in control anymore. And what are they doing? They're trying to get rid of our president. So there will be ramifications. I don't think impeachment's going to happen. Our good friend, Harvard professor Alan Dershowitz, says what Donald Trump did was not illegal. You can pay off any prostitute you want, and as long as it's not government funds or election funds. So everything is fine there as far as I'm concerned. And frankly, even if he did, I wouldn't give a damn. Meanwhile, markets are moving. Gold is starting to show a little bit of life here on the Friday when we're taping the show. I'm not a big bull on gold, but it's so oversold that we have to give it some credit here that it could bounce a little bit. So we are jumping on a couple trades here at vrtrader.com with regard to that sector. My overall gut feeling for gold is, yes, it could rally. We'll trade if it goes up, but gold may test its lows near 1,000 here in the next couple of years, or even lower before the big move that we've been waiting for gets underway. So let's see how that unfolds. And stay tuned with us here at Wall Street Raw on this Saturday morning, the 25th of August, and we'll be talking to Don Violo after the break.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Advertising is simple. It starts with someone who has a need.
Mom!
And then gets more specific.
Mom, I want pizza.
Then we add urgency.
I want pizza tonight.
Before you know it, your GCN advertising message is reaching millions of listeners. Listeners who are definitely in need.
We want pizza!
You see, advertising on GCN is simple. Your message meets their need, and the result means new business for you. Tell us about your business. Then let our super creative department go to work to craft just the right message to feed those who have an urgent need.
We want pizza tonight!
GCN has the most affordable national radio advertising rates, period. And millions of people listen to GCN radio programs on over 1,000 AM and FM and XM stations and streaming audio live. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just shoot us an email, advertise@gcnlive.com.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dillon Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dillon bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dillon bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dillon bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Healthcare reform is confusing. With the loss of the Obamacare mandate, those needing help can now choose an affordable alternative. By joining Liberty HealthShare, you're part of a community of health-conscious Americans all over the country who control their own healthcare costs and choices. Liberty HealthShare is not insurance. It is an association of self-pay patients who unite with like-minded people to share the cost of their medical needs. Neighbor helping neighbor. Learn more now by going to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, the 25th of August. And I hope you didn't get too turned off on the ranting and raving that I just subjected you guys with in the previous segment. But we have our opinions as well about what's happening in the world and the market, a little bit on politics, too. So, bear with us because that's part and parcel to what I do. Meanwhile, our good friend Don Violo is on the line. We've been anxiously waiting to hear Don's stuff this morning. Don is the publisher of the two great blogs, EquityClock.com, which I follow daily, and TimingTheMarket.ca. Good morning, Don. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Don brings us the Canadian perspective, as you may recall. Don, before we jump into some of the hot topics out there, I noticed gold is starting to pop here a little bit this morning. I don't know if it's related to politics or whether it's just so oversold and seasonals are finally kicking in. Any gut feeling about that?
Yeah, interesting. First of all, in markets in general, nice little bump after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's comments on Friday. That helped equity prices. It helped bond prices. It caused the U.S. dollar to move lower and had a big impact on gold. Gold had a nice move on Friday. Now, it's not just gold. It's the precious metal sector in general started to show some really good technical signs last week. All the short-term momentum indicators like stochastics, RSI, and MACD all turned positive last week. And on Friday, gold moved above its 20-day moving average. And the best one of all, the palladium ETN, the symbol is PALL, completed a base building pattern on a move above $89.17. Tis the season for the sector to move higher to early October.
Yeah, we've been anxiously waiting for that seasonality to kick in. It just keeps moving lower and lower. So if it is for real, Don, we have about, a month and a half of rally? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that looks pretty well in line with expectations. We'll get past the September 26th increase in the Fed fund rate. That's pretty well in the market anyway. And then after that, you'll probably see the U.S. dollar continue to move lower, and particularly prior to the midterm elections. And that's going to have a positive impact on all the precious metals and precious metal stocks.
Canadian banks are a big winner this past week, too, right?
Yeah, we mentioned last week in our show that the banks were about to report their fiscal third quarter results. Those that reported so far have been better than expected. The two major ones have increased their dividends. Some really good news for the banks during their period of seasonal strength between, I guess, usually around the end of July right through until the end of November.
Okay. So let's see here. Cannabis on the move for Canada. Unbelievable. CGC, which is the big blue chip Canopy Growth, on Friday up 4 to 5 points. Tilray, recent issue in the U.S., but there's been there's been some acquisition rumors that came out, in fact, on Friday that Diageo, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the big liquor company, DEO, I think is the U.S. symbol, is negotiating with several Canadian companies doing a possible deal, as we saw Constellation Brands and Molson Coors do recently. Really exciting.
That's correct. Diageo is that company that is rumored to be interested in getting the space. That space is smoking. The ETF up here in Canada that is most actively traded, symbol is HMMJ, was up 20% last week and has shown continuing buying power into that particular sector.
Okay. Meanwhile, just overall market risk here, Don. The Dow continues to move higher. TSX has been doing pretty good as well in the face of negative seasonality. So what do you think? Is that seasonality just going to be delayed this year, or like gold was delayed, or is it not working?
Yeah, this particular year, it is working in the Canadian market. The Canadian market actually peaked about 6 weeks ago. The U.S. market has been different this year than its normal seasonality. We actually hit an all-time high on Friday from several of the major U.S. equity indices. Just a word of caution, nothing really of too bad of a thing. What we have next week is a very slow week because it's prior to the Labor Day holidays, both in Canada and the United States. So as we get farther into the week, you're going to see trading activity slowly but surely slow down to a crawl.
Okay, so we'll check in with you again next week as we always do. Don Violo from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca, and thanks for all your insights. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mark.
Don Violo from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. We usually try to get Henry Weingarten on the line, and we haven't been able to reach him this morning, and we were trying to get Jim Rohrback on the line. Haven't been able to reach him either, so it's a little bit of a slow Saturday for two of our very special guests. But meanwhile, as Don just discussed and I brought up, was the action here in Canada with regard to the Canadian names. That's been the safest place for your investment dollars with regard to the cannabis sector, because of legalization in Canada not being what it is in the United States, as you know. Even though some of the U.S. stocks have performed, the risk of federal legislation being what it is, and the scheduling of marijuana as a Schedule 1 DEA drug, that's been a big problem, and we can talk about that if we have time today on all the reasons why that was not done correctly at all. Is pretty much a subjective decision and not based on science in any way. But, looking at the screens and looking at what's going on here, the question is, what companies will Diageo make a deal with? I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar companies, and what's basically happening is the liquor companies have decided that the next big area will be pot, and perhaps creating cannabis-infused drinks, not necessarily cannabis and alcohol mix, just cannabis-infused drinks is the way to go. Constellation Brands is now working on that with Canopy Growth, and Morrison Coors did a deal with Hydrotherapy in the last couple of weeks. So it's really interesting, what's happening here. I had bet for several years, because I've been writing my Cannabis Vice newsletter, as you know, for quite some time, that it would be the tobacco stocks. We would see Philip Morris. We would see, British Tobacco. We would see, those names in this space. And out of the blue, Constellation Brands comes in with that originally $200 million investment. And that drove Canopy up a little bit. And then just in the past 10 days, they announced a $4 billion investment in Canopy Growth. So this is a game changer. This is huge, and I would suspect many U.S. investors are really not even in the space yet. So more action lies ahead. Don't touch your dial. We'll be back after the break.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw Report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw Report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Remembering when to change your fridge filter is a hassle. Remembering the right filter is almost impossible. So at Filters Fast, we have some good advice. Forget it. Instead, remember this. Text BEST 55 to 443-443 and check fridge filters off your to-do list forever. Get it all taken care of for a fraction of big box store prices with a Filters Fast brand filter. To see how much you can save, plus get free shipping, text BEST 55 to 443-443. With a huge range of brand name filters available, Filters Fast is America's #1 online filtration company. And you can get a Filters Fast brand filter for a fraction of the price, delivered to your door every time you need it. No need to remember. It's not a matter of if you need a fridge filter. Why not text to get it taken care of? To see how much you can save and get free shipping, Text BEST55 to 443-443. That's BEST 55 to 443-443.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-261-9818 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-261-9818. Again, 800-261-9818.
If you owe money to the IRS, you need to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. It starts with a devastating letter, and if you don't act immediately, you could find yourself having your wages garnished or have a lien placed on your property. But there's a solution. Tax 10,000 can help. Avoid enforced compliance, where these holds on your income and seizure of your home could become a nightmare that just won't end. Call 800-239-9957 now and speak to one of our experts. 800-239-9957 is the number to link you directly to a tax resolution specialist who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, all the forms will be handled for you. All you have to do is make the toll-free call. 800-239-9957. Find out if you qualify and possibly save yourself thousands of dollars, not to mention a lot of headaches. It could be the best call you've made today. That number again, 800-239-9957. The service does not provide tax settlement or legal services. We will refer you to a company that does provide such services. Often the IRS will not agree to any reduction in the amount owed. Not all taxpayers who owe more than $10,000 will qualify for a tax reduction program.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw, folks. It's Saturday, the 25th of August, and we are having a little difficulty reaching some of our guests this morning, but fortunately we do have Henry Weingart now on the line from afund.com. Henry, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right, so the market's climbing a wall of worry. No matter what's happening out there politically, the Dow keeps moving up.
Well, that's right, because, again, the market's going to be higher end of the year. So the question is, as I said, you didn't have to do anything in August, or you could have done something. It didn't make any difference. So the question is, if you want to sell, and there's no reason you have to, but if you want to, where do you sell? Do you sell? Certainly you have to sell before the election. The question is, do you sell before the fall equinox, or do you sell after the fall equinox? And would you sell when NASDAQ gets to 80,000, 8,100, in which case you really want to protect it, even though it can go higher. But we're using the Dow as our marker. So the Dow has to get to its all-time high, like the NASDAQ does, somewhere around S&P 2950, which is the Goldman Sachs target. You want to protect. So we're using those parameters of time and price. At that point, even though the market's going to go higher, the risk is unacceptable for us. And there'll be some rock and roll in October. But at the moment, things are going to be better. The U.S. economy is good. Things like gold are moving up finally. We covered our oil shorts, although we'll short them again if they get to the 72, 73 level. So basically, we're doing nothing. In a week or two, we get back to work. There's a lot of day trading you can do. But effectively, you don't have to worry because the U.S. economy is strong. The political stuff is noise. And Trump has a good horoscope in November, December. And at that point, you may want to do something. And other than that, just relax and enjoy it if you're staying home, that is to say, in the United States.
gold's been in doldrums for quite some time, Henry, as you know, and it turned up on Friday. What do you think?
Because it doesn't. Because it turns out it's too cheap. You know, the question is, are we going to get 3 or 4 interest rate increases? And they're saying today they don't care. That's what Powell said on Friday. He thinks a normal rate is 4, and the market didn't mind it. So it really doesn't matter if it's 3 or 4. I prefer it to be 3, 1 in September, and ignore December, or vice versa. But that's not going to happen necessarily. But it doesn't matter. Gold's undervalued. Gold should be at least $100 higher, and you want to own it. You want to own gold. You want to own copper. These are things for the intermediate term, if not for the short term. There are companies making money. You have to be very selective what you buy, but you want to own it. But, you know, we did buys earlier at 1182, 1188, and so forth. So, what's there to say? You want it, it's cheap, but you got to have some patience. You won't make your money tomorrow like you will in marijuana or something else.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about marijuana today, so we won't touch on that. I think our listeners will change channels. But okay, what about crypto? Still bearish on Bitcoin?
Of course we're bearish. Not as bearish as what I was saying on EOS, which is total garbage. But I'll tell you something interesting about it. Yeah, Bitcoin's garbage. But the thing is, and we're still short, but we're hedged against long copper. But I'm long gold rather. But the thing about that is I'm trying to look at how I can sell Tether and buy the U.S. dollar. Unfortunately, it's a very expensive pair because, you know, theoretically it's 1-to-1. There's a 50% chance Tether is going to blow up because it's basically the, it's total fraud, half fraud, whatever you want to call it. So, what we're looking to see, and we haven't found a good way. At the moment, they want to charge 11% for a year, which is ridiculous. But basically, we want to sell Tether and buy the dollar, which theoretically is 1-to-1, except if Tether's a fraud, then you make your money. But clearly, did you see the news yesterday, 2 days ago from China? They are cracking down. They're cracking down on every exchange, even if they have overseas things. If you look at China, it's coming down very, very, very hard on all cryptos. And China is a big market for it. So the fact the government is taking massive new steps to restrict cryptos, and that's going to come through. And you'll see that coming through. I mean, most cryptos are down, 80%, 90%? You know, Litecoin, piece of garbage, et cetera. There are good cryptos, but they're very, very few.
Okay, Henry, we know governments don't like cryptocurrencies because it's a challenge to them, but...
Because it's a barter club. It's a barter club that doesn't use the countries. But there are reasons for cryptos, and there are a few good ones. But remember, 90%, and that's what the bulls say, are garbage and go to zero. So you got to watch what you buy.
Henry, thank you again. Thank you again for joining us. Henry Weingarten from afund.com, and hope to have him back next week, and look forward to you, as always. Henry Weingarten, thank you. Thank you again. Take care. Okay, folks, well, there's been a lot of talk out there about if Trump is impeached, what will happen to the stock market or not happen to the stock market. And it's been said if he left office, the stock market would decline. Those who are against Trump have actually made comments like it's a ridiculous remark, the kind of thing that Latin American dictators or Middle Eastern strongmen would say to keep supporters in line. This actually was carried by CNBC, and all it is an opinion, and then the markets act as if it's fact. I can't really address such issues as personal opinion, but it's pointless to offer an opinion and say it's better than anyone else's. The famous saying in politics is everyone has an opinion, and that is probably the bluntest statement, I guess we could make down there. But let's look back at what happened when Nixon was subjected to impeachment. Taking down Nixon had a profound impact and created the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. Paul Volcker commented economically on what happened with the Nixon impeachment. It was not until the events of 1974 and 75, he said, when a recession sprung on the unsuspecting world with an intensity unmatched in the post-World War II period, that the lessons of the new economics were seriously challenged, close quote. So will the impeachment of Donald Trump really screw up the world economy? And our answer is absolutely. Pence as president would probably reverse just about every policy. World trade would go into turmoil. Taxes would start to rise again. The reason the market would decline is rather simple. Confidence would decline. Anyone pretends to remove any president from impeachment without disruption to the economy is plain and simple not someone who understands history, markets, or the economy. The Clinton impeachment was more of a slap on the wrist Nobody expected him actually to be removed from office. If we recall, the Clinton impeachment was held off as to not impact the elections, which is not the case right now. They're pushing this to undermine the Republicans so the Democrats can take charge and then remove Trump. The attempt to go after Trump is entirely different. This is the deep state trying to take back control. Even the Nixon impeachment was about the rule of law and cover-up. Clinton committed perjury, which was a crime he actually did before a grand jury, for which prison would be normally imposed. Even Martha Stewart was sent to prison for lying to a government agent, even under oath. So what we're dealing with here is the confidence in government as a whole. Okay? The only thing that Trump can do is write it out and go to the Supreme Court. So buckle up. This is what we have to deal with here in the next several weeks. As Henry just said, and he's been correct for the last couple years, and he's an astrologer as well as a technical analyst. But he's basically saying and has said that everything is positive with Trump. I feel everything is positive with Trump. The market is telling you positive with Trump, and the fascists out there who call themselves Democrats, unfortunately, are just looking for votes and trying to open our borders, which would create havoc in this country. Don't touch your dial, folks. We'll be back after the break with a non-opinionated Sinclair No.
You are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
What if Extendivite really works, but you find that hard to believe and you spend precious time looking for someone to say, just try it? I have my help today because of Extendivite, and if I did not take a leap of faith and try it, well, I would be on disability today. Take one bottle of Extendivite as suggested for 60 days to find out for yourself. No need to stop any other meds you may be on. You know by now that they are not working for you. Before the 60 days are up, I know that you will feel Extendivite working for you and will want to take another bottle. Life is too short. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Bacon lovers, we ship free. Try our amazing bacon. No refrigeration required. Proprietary value-added packaging provides 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Savory and delicious. Wholesale price for your everyday use. Order today at ReadyToEatBacon.com. ReadyToEatBacon.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. It's Saturday, August 25th, and markets keep moving higher, at least on Friday, despite all the political nonsense that's going on out there. So here we are. Joe Granville would love this. Basically, all the bad news in the world, supposedly, trying to take down a U.S. president. I just ranted and raved a little bit, if you heard me on segment 3, about what the effects would be if we had impeachment. And indeed, we compare it to what happened back with Richard Nixon. It would not be pleasant for the U.S. markets. We have a non-opinionated good friend of ours on the line now, Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix, and author of the incomparable blog EatTheBankers.com. Sinclair, what do you think about the impeachment story?
I think it's starting to heat up. I think we're starting to see more and more talk of impeachment. I think that the probabilities of impeachment increased this past week. And I think the market is starting to get a little bit nervous about it. They're not quite sure what to do about it at this point, but they're starting to pay attention to it, in part because we've seen just this past week, we saw Manafort found guilty, Cohen pleading guilty. We see Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization, gets an immunity deal. David Pecker from National Enquirer gets an immunity deal. People are starting to roll over on Trump. You have to wonder if there's something in the closet. And at this point, it doesn't lead to any of what the special counsel was involved in. At this point, you're dealing with things like tax issues. However, that's how you get to something that's more serious. These are stepping stones for the prosecutor. And right now, I got to say, the prosecution is playing a masterful game of chess, and much more so than whatever game Trump and his legal team are playing.
Okay, so let's move on. Markets are telling you they don't care at the moment, so we'll see what happens. But if there is that serious event, then we'll have to worry about it. But I would point out that, as you probably read, Alan Dershowitz, the Harvard professor, basically said apparently what has happened with Trump is not a crime, even though he may have paid 2 women out of his pocket. But like you say, other things may come out of the woodwork. The Federal Reserve released its minutes this past week. There wasn't much to talk about there, but Jerome Powell basically says that he's with strong support in the markets. He may still see a gradual rate increase, but I think he came out this morning if I'm not mistaken, on Friday morning, that it may not be as aggressive as we originally thought on the interest rate hike. Sinclair, what are you reading?
I'm not reading quite that same way. I'm seeing that they're going to just continue on schedule, gradual, slow. They'll pay attention to the data as it comes in. And I think this is what the market was paying more attention to this week than all the political talk. They were waiting for the minutes from the Fed from the last meeting. They were waiting for the speech from Powell at Jackson Hole Symposium. And basically on Friday, Powell said that the gradual process of normalization remains appropriate. They're not particularly worried about inflation moving beyond 2%. Said we see no clear sign of an acceleration above that level. They're pretty much in the sweet spot as far as the Fed is concerned. Looking at about a 90% probability of a rate hike in September, maybe a little over 90%, and at least a 60% probability of a rate hike in December. And I think, if things kind of keep going the way they're going, that's what we're going to see. 2 more rate hikes this year. This could all change, of course. It could change within the next week or two. It could certainly change before December. And Powell said there are risk factors abroad and at home that in time could demand a different policy response. He didn't elaborate on those risk factors, so you can imagine whatever you want. But at the same time, they're saying that the economy is strong. It's good. Things are solid, and they need to get back to normalization. That's what the markets wanted to hear. The economy's good. Should be making money right now. If you're not, something's wrong with you, not with the economy.
So meanwhile, Dallas Fed President Rob Kaplan said the Fed should ought to raise rates by 3 or 4 quarter-point moves over the next 9 to 12 months. He's really a hawk.
Yeah, and you've got some mixed opinions as to how fast and how far the Fed should be hiking rates. But I think the general opinion right now is September is pretty much a lock, unless something just explodes. You're going to see a rate hike in September with a very strong probability of a rate hike in December as well. At a certain point, though, you start backing off because the Fed is looking to get the rates to around 2 3/4%. That's about 4 more rate hikes from here. That's where they feel normalization kicks in. We'll see. We'll see if we get there or not. We just made it through our milestone of sorts, hitting the longest bull market in U.S. history, and there are, of course, many different ways you could measure a bull market and the length of a bull market. But by most accounts, we hit a record, I think it was on Wednesday, 3,500 some odd days. Mm-hmm. So by most accounts, this is the longest bull market in U.S. history. Bull markets don't die of age, but they don't last forever either.
Okay. Well, when we get our signals, we're supposed to see a seasonally negative period beginning already into September, October, and we're supposed to see seasonal strength in gold, which may have just started. We saw some action on Friday there, so we'll see if the cycles kick in, and I guess what you're saying with the impeachment talk, that might impact, and if history is correct, it would impact the markets to the downside.
I think it would have a significant impact. If that's it, there may be other things that come up as well. As far as the gold, I was talking about a week or so ago about copper. Don't forget copper as part of that scenario. And think back, Mark, you're obviously the master when it comes to timing the gold markets. Have you ever seen gold rally when copper has not rallied?
I don't recall. You're correct. But meanwhile, we're seeing considerable strength in palladium. So that's interesting.
Well, palladium, I think, was an inverse move that we had seen Palladium and platinum, we got a little bit weird, but the price of copper is down nearly 20% since early June. I just don't see gold moving significantly until, or if it does move, let me put it this way, if it does move, we'll see some confirmation in the copper market.
Well, I'm bullish on copper, so I think over the next several months or year it should move higher. So I'm in agreement whether gold will participate or not. We shall see. Meanwhile, the American banks this past week, our favorite group that we like talking about, just experienced one of the most profitable quarters ever, with the exception, I suppose, of Wells Fargo.
Well, they've got a little problem with their business model. They have to keep paying all of these fines. But yeah, it's been a good time for the banks. And they have done remarkably well. And it's not so much that they've been doing a lot of loans, I don't think. The FDIC says it was the tax cuts that helped to drive the bank profits. Second quarter profits for the banks, $60.2 billion. And that tops the $56 billion in profit that they hauled in the first quarter. Bank profits up 25% from a year ago in the second quarter.
Sinclair, thank you for being with us. Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great blog, EatTheBankers.com. Join us next week, folks, and each week we close our show with what Ed Hart used to say, we will know in the fullness of time.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to WallStreetRawRadio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset, where we're proud of our 100% grown and sewn American-made jeans. Whether you're out for dinner, working on a farm, or on the road, Diamond Gusset Jeans offers a full spectrum of styles and sizes for any occasion. To find yours, visit Gusset.com. That's GUSSET.com. Our loyal customers enable us to continue sponsoring Liberty media outlets like the one you're listening to. In Liberty, David Hall, Diamond Gusset Jean Company.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.